Hello everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Vijay and we will continue to learn Python in our Python Mastery series. So, in the previous videos, we learned how we can operate on the string data. We learned about indexing, that indexing starts with positive indexing starts with index 0, negative index starts with -1. That all we learned. We also have a taste of slicing in the theory part, but practically on the code level we haven't seen the implementation. So that we will be seeing today. Along with that, we also will be covering the methods of string. So what is the need of the methods? Let's say you are asking a customer to enter the name. We are taking input from customer. So we are asking customer to enter the name. And let's say customer enters a name with extra space at the end, or let's say they enter the name with uh, some letters capital, some letters small. We cannot print in that unformatted or like misbalanced way of the output. Okay, we cannot have that. So as a developer we have to correct that things. What we need to do, we need to process that data and have a correct formatted data displayed or given to the output user. Okay, so what we will be doing, we will be taking the input from the user, whatever is required, like we have to make it uppercase, lowercase, that all we will be doing with the help of string methods. So let's jump to the blackboard and start with. Okay, so we will begin the discussion with the methods that we sorry, not methods, the theory part that we covered in the previous video. So slicing, we already understood that slicing means slice a portion of data. Let's say I have a name as variable and I'm storing Vijay Rangvani as its value. So if I have to slice Vijay from it, the first name I have to slice. So what I will do, I will enter the start index and then end index. And remember, end index is not inclusive. Okay, so if I have to take the first name, it is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So I have to enter till 5. Then only it will capture the fourth index, till fourth index. Okay, and there is also a concept of step size in the slicing. So let's say if I am typing 052, it will take every second output to the consideration. It will skip the first letter, okay, every second character. Okay, so this was the slicing basics. And regarding the string methods that we will be covering, that will be, first one will be strip. Okay, this is to remove the additional spaces at the beginning, at the end. This is to remove additional spaces. Then we will have title. Whenever we need to convert our string to the title case, it is used for that. Don't worry, we will be doing the practical, then seeing the output will give you a more idea how these things are behaving. Okay, and upper is quite self-explanatory. Whatever we have, like here, if we enter the data as Vijay Rangwan, this is the uppercase. Okay, and let's say lower is the next method. Then we have replace, uh, then find. Replace is to replace any particular string. Okay, and then we have split. Okay, okay, in find we are finding the index of particular data. Let's say here, uh, I will practically show you the example, but let's say I have to fetch the first name. How will I find the index where the first name is ending? So here the space will act as that. So we will find the space index and then we will enter that as end value. So it will give us the first name. For the last name, we will take the space as the starting point, space plus 1 as the starting point, so that it will fetch the last name. So this will be helpful to find the index, this function. Okay, then we have split. Split will be useful to convert a string data multiple. Let's say we have multiple values of names, name Vijay, comma I have like every space that I will show you practically although, but just to give you an example of this, let's say I have a string with name as dosa, then idli, then I have uh, what we can say else pizza. Okay, so I have three values. I now want to store them as three different values, or I want to convert them in list. Don't worry if you don't understand the list as of now. We will be covering that in the future videos, but just to make short understanding right now, we want to convert it something like this. Let's say dosa, then idli, and then the other thing is the last part pizza. Okay, so from converting to a string to a list, this split method is used. Okay, so let's jump to the code part now, and we will see an implementation of all these methods. So let's start with the slicing. String slicing. Okay, so now here first I will store the customer name as Vijay Rangvani. Okay, and now if I print, let's say I want to slice from first name in this. So what I can do, I'm manually calculating that these are 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. I have to print first four index. So what I will do, I will let me first type that first name, and then in the curly braces customer name, and in slicing from 0th index to 5th index I have to print fourth index. Fifth will be exclusive, not inclusive, so we will be adding the end value as 5. So this will print the first name. In similar way, if I have to print the last name, then what I will do, sorry, print f, then last name, and we will be having the customer name in the braces, and we will enter the value from 6 to 15. Okay, so what we have done, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is the space, then we are taking from 6th till 15. Okay, so it will print the last name. In this way we can slice the string. So now coming to the next part, that will be default slicing, or I can say positive slicing that we were doing. Okay, so it was quite simple that we did right now was positive slicing. So if I have to print, let's say I have to print just first two letters, so what I will be doing, name, name, then 0 to 2. Remember, the end index is not inclusive. Why I'm emphasizing so much on this portion? Because remember, this is a common mistake that we do while we are calculating the index and while we are generating the output. It can result into incorrect output. Okay, so here you can see the first two index are printed. Now, the important thing here that we will see here is that, let's say I do not give a start index and I simply give a end index, then also it will generate the same output. Let's perform that. uh, okay, you can see here it generates the same output. So by default start index is 0. Okay, and then let's say I'm not giving a end index. If I am going from 2 to and index I am not giving. So if you see here, it will take till the range is available, whatever the range. In indexing, if you remember, if we enter any index that is out of range, it was giving us the error of out of range. But here, if you don't enter the end index, it will automatically take till whatever index the data is available. Okay, let's say I am increasing the data, so it will generate that thing. Here you can see it automatically increase. So it is quite flexible in that way. And let's say I'm not giving any start or end index name, so it will display the complete output. So this is the positive indexing. In similar way, we will look now for the negative indexing. Very simple. Here, if I go with the same example, I will be going, let's say I am going with print name -9 till whatever index it is available. Here you can see it is printing Rangvani. How it is possible? So here you can see uh, -1, -2, -3, -4, -5, -6, -7, -8, -9. Okay. So from -9 it is going in the opposite direction. Okay. Now if I print name -10 here, you can see here it is printing the output. If I enter the -10 as the last index, it will print from the beginning. Okay. So this is how the negative indexing works. And one more thing, in this slicing itself, we have third parameter step size. Now, if I go for the step size, let's say I am printing every second character I want to print. If I go here, name, and I'm not giving any start index, end index, just every second character I want to print. So you can see V is printed, then I is skipped, then J, then A is skipped, Y, then R, space is skipped, and then R, then A. In that way, the whole string is printed. Okay. And there is one more thing. If you want to reverse, this is kind of a trick for the Python new learners, that whenever we want to have a string that is reversed, so we simply give -1 as the step size. This will reverse the string. Here you can see. To understand better, let me give a string as text equal to, what we can give is, let's give Python itself. Okay. So I will type here text. Now if I try to run, here you can see Python is reversed. So this is for reversing. Okay. So till now we have seen positive slicing, negative slicing, and step size. Okay. Now coming to the methods that we saw, string methods. Starting with the first one, we have upper and lower. So it's very simple. Uh, let's say I'm just printing the string here. Okay. Just to show you whatever the original data is, so we do not have to scroll again up and down. Now, if I make this as upper case and also to the lower case. Okay. So here you can see the difference. This was our original data. When we make it uppercase, everything is converted to the uppercase, and lower method will help us to convert everything to the lowercase. Okay. Now coming to the other method, title and capitalize. If I take this, the first one is title and capitalize. Okay, so we have something called as title case and something as capitalize. Okay, so here if you can see, in this, every first character of every letter is converted to the uppercase. Here you can see V and then R is uppercase. In capitalize, only the first character of the first word in a sentence will be converted to the uppercase. Less are not considered. Okay, it will be in the lowercase. So this is the capitalize. These methods are useful as building the foundation whenever we are processing the data. At that time, the user can enter the input in any format. Like, we cannot force the user that they should enter the format we want. So these methods or these functions will help us to process the data in our desired format. Okay, now coming to the next one, strip. Okay, so let's say I'm storing the name, taking the input from the user, enter your name. Okay, and then I am printing the name. Okay, and also let's say I'm printing after strip method. Okay, I used simple print also, and then along with the strip method also. So what is the difference that we see? Let's say I enter my name with Vijay, space, 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 space. Okay, I have entered some few spaces. Here you can see these spaces are visible, but after strip there is no space. So the strip method is useful whenever we want to eliminate the spacing, trailing or leading spaces that we want to eliminate. It is useful for that. There are also other strip methods. Let's say name dot r strip, and then we have print name dot l strip. Okay, so what it will do, let's say I run it here. I give space at the starting, 1 2 3 4, and 1 2 3 4. Okay, I give some spaces at the starting and the end. Okay, so here you can see start space and end space, all is visible in the original one. Then we have strip method where all the spaces are gone, leading and uh, trailing space all are gone. Here R strip will remove all the right side of the space, and L strip will remove all the left side spaces. So these are the methods of strip. And then we have, after this, replace. Okay, we will continue with the replace portion. What replace will do, let's say I have a bill for item T. Now if I want to replace this, print bill dot, in the bill I want to replace with a coffee. So I will say tea, comma, coffee. Okay. So if I print, it will have that coffee. So how it works? Simple. Replace old, comma, new. This is the format of the replace method. Okay. Now if I move further with the, after replace, what was there? Let me go to the blackboard. Find. Okay. Coming back here. Next method is find. So uh, let's say I want to find, here I have pizza, comma, burger, comma, mm, dosa. Okay, I have three items in my menu, and I want to find at which position or at which index burger is. Okay, I do not want to calculate manually, rather than I want the program itself to calculate for me and give me the index number. So in that case, we will use the find function and the menu dot find. Okay. And what I want to find? I want to find burger. Okay. So it will give me the starting point for the string burger. It start with sixth position. So one, two, three, four, five, and oh sorry, zero. It starts with zero. Zero, one, two. Okay, zero, one, two, three, four, five, and then six. Okay, so the index always starts with zero. So if you calculate, burger is starting at the sixth index. Then if we move forward, split is the next method. Split. It will convert the string to a dictionary. Let's say this example only we take again, and I want to convert it to list, not dictionary, in list. Mistakenly, I told dictionary. Okay, print menu dot split by which character we want to split. Here, every item is differentiated by comma, so we will split it with comma. Okay, here you can see. Okay, so here you can see three things: pizza, burger, dosa. Everything is splitted with a comma. Okay, so this is how these things work. List you will understand in more detail whenever we cover that thing in the further videos. Now coming to the next part, we have seen all the methods now, and we will move forward with the mini project that we are using in every video, the Code Cafe project. Okay, and what we will do for the Code Cafe today, we will develop a data formatter. Previously, for the numeric data type, we developed a smart bill calculator. For the string, we are formatting the data, so we will develop a data formatter. So the first line is very simple. We are printing a welcome message, welcome to Code Cafe. Then we have, okay, the next line we have customer name as our input. We will request enter customer name. Okay, then what we will request for the food item. Okay, input enter food items. Okay, and this all things we have done already. Okay, payment, input, enter, payment. Okay, okay, this all things we have done previously also. What we will be going to do new in this, let's say we are asking customer to input the name. It might happen that they might not enter in a correct format. They enter with the spaces and in jumbled case, like some letters capital, some small, all that thing. So first we will strip the data, then sorry, then we will make it as a title case. Okay, the same thing we will do with the food items too. So title. So you can see the difference now. In till previous video, we were accepting in whatever format the customer was giving us the things, and we were storing in the variable. But now we are formatting that data and then storing in the variable. And in payment, what we will do, we will capitalize that thing. So if you see, you might have seen the bills of Zomato, Swiggy, all that. So they generally have that in the uppercase. Okay, so we will do a uppercase. Okay, all these things are done. Now we will print the order summary. Print order summary. Okay, now what is the order summary? Print first f string customer is fetching from customer name, then we have print, we have next item is food item that we will fetch the value from food item variable. Then we have print f payment. Okay, payment from the payment variable. Okay, till this we have done, and now also we will be using the methods that we have seen. We will be slicing the first name, and we also will be slicing the last name. Okay, how we will be doing that? So for the first name, first we have to take the customer name, and in slicing we have to give the start index. So obviously that will be 0, and end index should be at the space. So let's say if I am giving, I am just showing you here the example. Let's say I given Vijay Rangvani. So we need to find the index of this position. So obviously when we give the end index as this space index, it will print uh, just till the Vijay. Okay. So let's give it as customer name dot find, and what we want to find, we want to find the space. Okay, then for the last name, what we will be doing, customer name, what will be the start index? The start index will be customer name dot find, again the index of space, but this time we will be, as starting index is inclusive, so we have to do +1 to move to the next index. So here we will do +1 and then go till the last index. So it will print our last name. Okay. So just to summarize what we have done, a welcome message, then taking the input of food item, name and payment, and then formatting into the correct format. And then we are printing all of that, whatever the inputs we have taken, and then slicing the first name and last name. So let's run this. So here it is asking me the name. Let's say I give a space starting and customer Vijay dot Vijay and space Rangvani. At the starting, I have given some spaces. Food item also I am giving some space. Let's say I am giving dosa. And payment method I am entering with some jumbled way. Let's say I print C, capital A, small s, capital H. Okay. So here you can see, although I gave spaces, but stored with proper, removing this space and everything, and proper title case it has stored the value. In dosa also it did the same thing while storing the food item. Payment method, as we have mentioned, to store as a uppercase, it is storing as uppercase. Okay. And first name we are able to fetch it successfully with the help of this find method, and last name also we are able to do that. Okay. So this is very important thing that we did till now, how we can process the data, how we can store the data in a variable, string data in a variable with a proper formatted way. Okay. So let's say, uh, let's jump to do a recap what we have seen in this video. In this video we have seen slicing. So we are storing the first name, last name, whatever we are storing, how we can slice a portion of data, how we can to a step size we can jump one character to two character. In that way we can jump with the help of step size. Then we looked at this methods, all that methods. Okay. So till now we have seen how slicing and the string methods work. In the upcoming videos we will be seeing what the list data type is. So list will allow us to store multiple values in a single variable. Let's say I have 10 food items on my menu or 50 food items on my menu. I cannot create 50 variables for that. So the practical way is to create one variable, okay, and the store the value on that, and then we can do indexing, slicing, all that operation on that whole one variable. So that we will be seeing in the upcoming video. This is it for this video. If you are enjoying this playlist, please subscribe to the channel. Thank you and happy coding.